Gary Hunt if he'd like to open the batting.
Very good.
Thanks.
Scott, another clear week. How have things gone out on the training pitch this week then?
Gone very well, yeah. So I think I've said it before, really another clear week where we can get some good work into the lads, go over from the weekend and keep improving aspects of our game that we want to improve as well. So clear weeks are good for us, certainly at this point where we are in our development. I know we're only around the corner from a busy one next week, but yeah, it's been another good week. Lads working hard and obviously listening and building.
Yeah, because weeks like this, they must be really important with you to the work, if you can work profitably with the squad, because as we know, in the Championship, it's like play, recover, play for a lot of the time, and you've just alluded to there the fact that you've got 3 games in 7 days coming up. So weeks like this, where you can really get some good work in, must be really important for you.
Yeah, they're invaluable, to be quite honest with you. So, like you said, when it's a busy week with a midweek game, really you're just recovering, prepping and recovering going into the next game. So the amount of work you can actually do on the grass is very limited, and you're probably doing a lot of your work in the meeting rooms, really. So these weeks are really important for us in terms of actually getting practical work into the team.
It's early days, of course, but you're 6 games in now, Scott. There's like a block of games gone at the start of the season. You've got 13 points, you're in 3rd place. After the turmoil at the back end of the window, are you satisfied with where you're at? Are you comfortable, or what are your feelings?
Yeah, I'm really, really comfortable where we are. I'm very, very satisfied, really, considering what the team and what the club, in terms of the stresses we had, certainly in pre-season. And like I said, it's a brand new team that we're having to develop now in that sense. So to be where we currently are with a tough start as well, I'm very pleased in terms of us, the way we've got points, we've managed to get points in certain moments has been really important and really pleasing for us, really.
It looks from the outside like the team, given that there've been so much comings and goings during that pre-season transfer window period, that they seem to have blended together really quite rapidly. Sometimes you've got to wait, don't you, for things to sort to drop into place.
Yeah, I think the core of the group what have been here have obviously helped with that for sure. And I think the players what have come in have been really receptive and genuinely good human beings that want to come in and be part of something, really. And I suppose that's my job, and that's the staff's job, and obviously the people around the football club to make that environment for players coming in as easy as possible and that transition to happen. So, but I think you're right. I think for large parts in terms of the start of this season, when I look back at the first part of this season, what's gained us the results, probably a big element is exactly what you're talking about, a real togetherness and a culture at this present moment in time, which is obviously all sticking together. And I think it's probably fair to say that the majority of the points have probably come from that being our core value, really. So I always say how important that is, and that's going to be vitally important for the rest of this season. And you know, we're nudging away with in terms of how we want to look as a team as well. So yeah, I've been really pleased in terms of that.
In terms of availability, you're looking at just looking at the way the impact that was made by the subs last week that came on. I mean, obviously that's what you're there for. They're there to come on and make an impact. They made a real change, I thought, to last weekend's game. And the likes of Sarmiento, Fleming, Laurent, all coming off the bench, all making really good impressions. That gives you food for thought. I mean, they must be knocking on your door, metaphorically speaking, to start.
Well, some maybe as well, to be fair. So, yeah, and I mean, firstly, as a coach, you want to know that boys sitting on the bench and not involved, of course, they're never going to be happy. And in my position, you can only name 11 players, and that's the hardest part of this job. Certainly, some of them decisions are easy by one's actions, but ultimately here there's a group of players that they're obviously in certain moments disappointed they're not playing. I suppose constantly the message from me is the reaction we get and prepared for when they come on. The boys that came into the arena at the weekend were every bit of that and made a massive impact. We know how hard this division is. There's going to be plenty of game time for the majority of this squad, just in terms of how difficult this league can be and how challenging it can be, really. So, yeah, we need to keep that level of focus and obviously that hunger to, whether it's 20 minutes, 45 minutes, that these players are ready to go and impact a game like they did at the weekend.
We talked last week about Connor Roberts, and you said he was close. He obviously didn't quite make it. Has he moved further along now? Are we likely to see him involved on Saturday? Yeah,
he's moved further along. So he's trained this week with us. He's had a good week. So yeah, hopefully that we'll see where he is the weekend, whether we push or whether we don't. We'll make that decision probably the back end of the week.
And Bashir Humphries as well, available after the ban, so he's another one that comes into this conversation, doesn't he, about the difficult decisions you're going to have to make, which are obviously they're the decisions you want to have to make, though, aren't they?
Of course, yeah, and ultimately that's down to the player. Of course, I make them decisions, but the players will. It's on them to impress, and obviously put me in a position where obviously they're selectable in that moment. Bash comes back in after I thought he did very, very well against Leeds, his first game, probably playing out of position as well. He gives us that versatility for sure, and he comes back into the squad, which is very pleasing for us.
Mike Trezor, not featured as yet, was linked with moves away. That didn't happen. What's his situation just at this moment in time?
So Mikey's now back with us, so he's fully training this week with the team. Which is very, very good for us in that sense. Has been off for a considerable amount of time, Mikey, a long time out injured. So I think, look, we need to tread carefully here. It's probably now we're just picking his work up and getting him to a level of fitness that obviously he can keep improving. Last thing we want to do is rush anything here and push too hard, too quick, and obviously we'll face the consequences of that. So we're just treading carefully and step by step with Mikey. Pleased that he's with a group now and he's training with a group, seeing his quality is pretty evident. So we're just treading along with him at the moment.
Moving on to Oxford on Saturday then, they might have surprised a few with the way they've started. 6 games in, they've won 3 and lost. They're either in the top 10 in the table, and there's been 1 or 2 eyebrows raised about how they've played. They've won all the home games. And they've only conceded once, so that's what are you expecting to see from them?
Tough game ahead of us, really. At home, like you said, they've had 3 games at home, won their 3 games. A team that obviously understand how they play, a positional team, and got some real good quality and can be a real threat, certainly at home, and that's been pretty evident. So, as always, look, we go there with the utmost respect to the opposition, and rightly so, because the results have proven that. So we'll be under no illusions that the challenge we're going to face at the weekend, and we'll prep as well as we can, while also, of course, trying to dominate and put our stamp on this game and cause them problems as well. So a big challenge ahead of us, but I think I keep saying it to you guys that challenge will come probably most weeks in this division, because the way the league is, really.
You look at the threats of Oxford. Obviously, you'll be doing your homework on them and looking at them. But are you the sort of guy that says, well, look, we can do so much on the opposition, but we need to work on our game and let them worry about us a little bit? Is it a balance?
There's a balance there, yeah, for sure. There's a balance there, and the way the game's moving as well, and the improvements in terms of coaches and how teams set up. There's that challenge, and I need to prepare the team best I can to nullify their threat, for sure. But yeah, we're a dominant team, and we want to put our stamp on this game like we do every game, no matter who we play, and cause as many problems as we can. So while, of course, there's always there's an element of looking at the opposition and what we need to do against certain things or certain individuals in their team, large part is about us and how we can go and win the game and certainly affect the game, really.
Just lastly from me, the dressing room must be a pretty bubbly place to be at the minute, I guess. A last minute or an injury time winner, having been behind, is always... if there's a way to win, sometimes it's not for the coach, of course, or the supporters, but, for the players. And after that, it must have been a real big high. And winning away at Leeds prior to that, I'm guessing confidence is quite high.
Yeah, confidence is really high. And there's been a consistency in that, even when you go and get a bad result against Sunderland, really. There's been a consistency in certain behaviours, which I'm very pleased with. But of course, look, the weekend's game, no better way to end it in terms of a last-minute winner. At this present moment in time, we're in a really good place, coming on the back of 2 good results, and we need to back that up now at the weekend.
Hi Scott, busy week coming up, isn't it? 3 games next week. Do you have to bear that in mind when it comes to team selection, or is it just focus on Oxford first?
Yeah, focus on Oxford first. I'm not one really to look too far ahead of this game. I'm mindful of what we face the following week and a quick turnaround. Obviously, Saturday, Tuesday is a real quick turnaround in that, and then go again early kick-off, I think, against Preston. There's an element what I have half an eye on, but main focus really is putting the best team out there building the squad to best suit this weekend's game and trying to get the 3 points really.
You touched on it before, but how difficult was it to leave out Josh Laurent last week? Obviously, replacing him with a quality player in Josh Cullen. You sport for choice in midfield especially, aren't you? But did you have to sort of talk to him after how well he'd started the season?
Yeah, I did, yeah. And like I said, these are difficult tasks you have as a manager really, and I'm the manager at any given moment. I look at every game individually, who can suit in certain moments. But yeah, Josh Lauren has been incredible since he's come in. You know, put him straight in after, like I said before, 40 minutes of training really with the team, and he's done brilliant. And I can echo them words for Josh Cullen as well, really. So these are difficult decisions, but both understand, and certainly Josh did as well. Reacted in an incredible way, a real team player. And like we said, we see the qualities he did when he came into the game as well. Added something to the game which we needed at that moment in time, and he was first class when he came in.
Ask you about Maxime Esteve as well. Not been in England for long, only since January, but he seems to have settled in really well. How impressed have you been with him?
Yeah, really impressed with Maxi. First and foremost, a great kid, like, unbelievable professional. Just his general aura around him, humility about the boy in terms of his professionalism, everything about him. First and foremost, top boy. And of course, you see his quality as well. So again, he probably fits into the bracket. Still a lot of work to be done, loads of improving and loads of fine tuning. But someone who's really willing, and someone who probably can see it as well, is humble enough to see where he needs to improve. But for sure, we've got an exceptional player in Maxi, and we're going to work tirelessly with him to keep nudging him along. But he's been brilliant for us this year, first class since certainly I've been in here.
Okay, well, we'll conclude that. Goodbye, streamers.